Hello everyone, this is WarnogGamer4 here with another challenge run video. For this run, we're gonna be running around with Varre's Bouquet, a pretty niche weapon that focuses more on bleed rather than physical damage. Now originally this was gonna be a co-op challenge run, but due to the 1.08 update, the run has been postponed. Anyway, let's get right into it. The rules are that Varre's Bouquet is our main weapon and is our focus of use. Also, we will not summon for boss fights. Now we start by jumping our way out of the tutorial. We get our weapon through the power of friendship.
Cut me out of your life like you cut every other part of me out of your life.
Bonk Varre in the face with it. Get our horse from Milady number 1. Get the spirit bell from the blue Milady. If I had a fedora here, I would be tipping it. Now we pick up the sleeping pot recipe, the Physic that we won't be using for a while, the 2 medallion pieces for the lift, also Radagon sword seal just in case, and then we proceed to get squashed by one thick rat. Get a bit of training from a fellow gentleman, who then proceeds to one-shot me. Now we level ourselves up to be able to use the Bouquet of Roses. Help a woman in need, level up our weapon to that legendary bleed number, and now we face off against Margit. For Mr. Anti-Ambition here, we fight him like anyone would when using melee. Also, we try to sneak in charged attacks to stagger him. With our current bleed build-up for the weapon, it took quite a bit of while to actually beat him. Also, bosses increase their bleed resistance every time they suffer blood loss. But after a few more swipes and one more stagger, Margit goes down, with the fight taking about 10 minutes and 21 seconds. Now we make our way through Godrick's castle, bleeding out our enemies with the power of subpar blood buildup. Also, we go up to the roofs to get the first talisman for the run that will barely help us. And with the claw talisman obtained, we go and fight Godrick, who we just proceed to just beat up and stagger with our Bouquet of Roses. Nearly most of his attacks leave him open for damage. A pretty simple and easy fight. The fight itself took about 4 minutes and 47 seconds. With Godrick down, we now level up, go and start picking up the material we need to upgrade our flowers. In order to do that, we make our way up Mount Gilmer, join up with Volcano Manor, get our complimentary bottle. Now we start backstepping through the lava, get a Somber 5 stone, and after buying the rest of the stones we're missing from EG, we level up to +6, which brings our bleed up by a whopping 1 point. With this gracious boon in power, we'll now have an easy time here at Rhea Lucaria, where we take down Radagon's pet wolf pretty easily. But then we get absolutely out-bloody skilled by the elevator guard. And because of this, we respond with jump attacks. And when he takes out his staff, we start to use our stabby stab attacks. With the guard out of the way, now it's time to fight Rennala. Here we give everyone a piece of our bouquet, and especially to Rennala. But it looks like she didn't like the Bouquet because she tries to blast us with a Kamehameha. And because of this, we retaliate against her with the power of Bleed. But because of how jumpy she is, it took a bit to actually beat her out. But eventually Rennala goes down, with the fight taking about 15 minutes and 38 seconds. And I also died only one time. With Rennala down, we head back to Volcano Manor, level up a bit, and now we start our fight against the Godskin Noble, who we bleed out pretty easily as blood loss is one of its weaknesses. With the fatty bled out to death, we make our way through the next area, trying to avoid all the enemies, so we can get the rare Somber 7 Smithing Stone. With that in our inventory, we now head off to Dragon Barrow to get the next 2 Somber Smithing Stones. We also start doing Varre's quest by invading an NPC, and getting a bit of ketchup on our napkin, so we can get the Blood Knight's badge to gain access to Mohg's Palace early to obtain the endgame Somber Smithing Stone. Now we level up, upgrade Varre's Bouquet to +10, and even though it's still pretty weak, at least physically, the arcane scaling brings up the bleed up by quite a bit. Now it's a whopping 99 blood buildup. With the nearly 100 blood buildup, we now go to Redmane Castle to fight Radahn. For Radahn, we fight him mostly on horseback to keep ourselves mobile, and to inflict damage and bleed buildup with our flowery drive-by. After bleeding him a few times with our Thorny Roses, Radahn falls, with the fight taking about 6 minutes and 20 seconds. And I also died one time. Now we witness what I believe the universe telling me, that there are hot new singles near my area. So we prepare ourselves by leveling up, and now we head off to Necron and get a spike launched up the ass, show our Mimic who is the superior woman respecter. What a shame, he only lasted 1 minute and 33 seconds. And then we fight a ghostly deer who I believe has very high bleed resistance. Also, with its skinny legs, it makes him pretty hard to hit. With one last hit, the Regal Ancestor Spirit goes down, with the fight taking about 7 minutes and 40 seconds. And I also died one time. Now we duplicate Radahn's Remembrance for some rune gain. Get the Nomadic Warrior Cookbook 6. And start farming a lot of root resin and blood rose to make blood grease for our little rose bundle. Now we go and eliminate the NPC White Mask invaders to get the War Surgeon set, but much more specifically the White Mask, as it gives a damage boost whenever something bleeds out. Yep, not creepy or intimidating at all. I mean, just look at me. I look beautiful for the ladies. With our fashion attained, now it's time to finally start using our Physic. So we go and fight the Putrid Avatar at Dragon Barrow to obtain the tiers that will boost our stagger damage and defense. We level up a bit, which also increases our bleed buildup. Go to the Lux Ruins to get the Ritual Sword Talisman. Then quickly blitz our way through the Carrion Manor. So we can offer service to Milady. Afterwards, we start another Milady's quest, who disappears right after I help her commit murder. Now we get the Fingerslayer Blade, in order to receive the inverted statue, and obtain the Curse Mark of Death for later. Now let's get access to the capital by finding the Draconic Tree Sentinel, who as always we sneak up from behind and try to burst them down. Afterwards, it becomes a pretty normal fight, with the bleed just deleting chunks of its health away. And with one last swipe, the boss goes down, with the fight taking about 1 minute and 42 seconds. Now we get visited by Milady number 1 and start making our way through the capital. But before we fight the boss, we go and quickly help Bach from his tree prison, get and give him the sewing needle, quickly say hi to Alexander along the way, and then go to the hermit village to get the prattling pate there. Then for some odd reason I decide to scale this rock pillar, which on the way up I fell to my death multiple times. But eventually I made it to the top and placed a message up here. First off, well done. By the way, touch, I mean seek grass. Also, you can kinda Skyrim horse your way up the rock at a few points if you want to get up there for whatever reason. Now let's continue Bach's quest by getting the golden needle. Tell him that he's beautiful, so we can now have him as our private tailor. With that done, we now go and fight Phantom Godfrey. And even though he's immune to bleed in this phantom form, we still beat him up pretty good, as the key for this fight was to pretty much stagger him as much as we can. And with the final blow, Phantom Godfrey goes down, taking about 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Why hello there, milady. Okay, she didn't like that. Now let's start doing Millicent's quest, but in order to do that, we need to take down Commander O'Neill. Now we tell this fair maiden to stab herself with a needle, and get her a spare arm at the Shaded Castle, and also fight against the Godskin Apostle at the Windmill Village. With the Godskin down, we talk to her, and that's it for now. Now let's go get our first mark for Volcano Manor. We invade and take down the NPC pretty easily. Now we start doing a quest for the milady with the back problem. We also find out that she's a snake, and we promise not to tell anyone. Now we go get her birth sack, get our second assassination mark for later, eliminate the NPC invader near Murkwater Cave, say a quick hello to Yura, then we bleed Patches to submission, and buy Margit's shackle from him. Now we go assassinate our second target with our flower power. Tell Raya about the secrets of the manor and give her her birth sack. And now it's time to progress with the story and take out Morgott. For the first part of the fight, we mostly pin him down with the shackle and start bleeding him away. For the second phase, we challenge him at close range to keep our bleed buildup constant. Also, I got grabbed here, which absolutely looks brutal. And eventually we bleed out Morgott, with the fight taking about 3 minutes and 39 seconds. Now we level up, help Yura with an invasion, then get told by Shibari how to save Melina from burning herself to death, talk to Milady Millicent on the way up, we also get assaulted by a giant hand up here, then go back to Volcano Manor and get told by Raya to end her life. I'm sorry, milady, but I cannot. Now we go and deal with an invader to get the Purifying Crystal tier for later. Now off to the sewers we go, where we get Mohg's shackle, watch some lobster on lobster violence, then go through the vomit catacombs so we can fight the boss, the Prince of Blood, in order to get the talisman that works just like our helmet but better. Then we invade Varre and show him who is superior in holding the rose bouquet. With our dominance asserted, we head back to the sewers where we try to skip the annoying pipe maze. And after succeeding to do the sewer skip, it is now time to fight Mohg, who we pretty much just stagger to oblivion. Even with all the staggering, the fight took pretty long, with it taking about 7 minutes and 12 seconds. Once we defeat Mohg, we get warned by Milady to not claim the Frenzy Flame, so we express our way down the hole. I learned this one by watching Bushy. Then we get warned again, but we completely ignore her pleas because we need to save the Milady. So we accept the flame and get this ugly burn scar on us. Now forward we go into Dark Roots and fight Fia's champions, who we pretty much delete if they don't have poise. All this fighting took about 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Once we are done with that, we continue simping for Fia, and for our reward for being a simp, we can fight the Lichdragon, who is kind of annoying to hit because of the passive electricity that can get us when we're around its feet. But after a while it's no match for us and our bleed, and the fight took about 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Now we get told off by Malenia. "Milady, please, I did this to protect you." We level up, fight our last assassination target for Volcano Manor. With the final target down, we get the Hoslow armor set, and we take full advantage by wearing the armor to hide our hideous scar. Also, we alter it because, at least for me, it looks better without a cape. Now we go to Rivermain and pick up the mini Milady, deal with the invader that looks like Blythe by continuously staggering him. Now we rot ourselves, then run through the Lake of Rot. So we can now begin our fight against Astel. Astel is pretty annoying to hit, as it's pretty dangerous to stay around him because of all the gravity magic. But once we bring it in contact with our bloody Bouquet, the boss bleeds out pretty quickly. And after the final hit, Astel goes down, with the fight taking about 7 minutes and 28 seconds. With Astel gone, we now get our engagement ring, pick up a lot of starlight shards for later use, then engage ourselves to the blue Milady, which afterwards she just disappears. They always do. Now off we go to the Spirit Calling Cave to have a grandiose time with godskins that can't be bled. But if we can't bleed them to death, then we will stagger them to death. Also used a few sleeping pots to get a few good hits in. With the spirit godskins dead, we eliminate the true boss of the cave and get the swaddling cloth for a bit more survivability. Now we proceed to Castle Sol and quickly take out the spirit summons, as they are the biggest pain to deal with, at least when compared to the boss. The boss himself is no biggie, as we just bleed him to death after a bit. And with one last flower slap, Commander Niall goes down, with the fight taking about 6 minutes and 43 seconds. And I died a total of 2 times to the summons. With him defeated, we now get one part of the secret medallion, get the second part at the village of the Albinarix, quickly eliminate the Round Table Invader with our Stabby Rose. Then we get lovingly embraced while lighting up the candle to proceed. Now we run through the hell that is the Halleck Tree branches. And at the midway to the route, we bully the boss with our bleed damage. Poor Loretta, taking only about 2 minutes and 14 seconds to take down. Afterwards, we talk to the red-haired milady and level up our arcane up by 9 points just to increase our weapon bleed by 1 point. Now we quickly run through the area, avoiding as much enemies as possible, as they hurt quite a lot. Take out the giant tree snake. And go help Millicent fight her sisters. Which I totally turned the tide to her victory. Now we say a sad farewell to Milady. Also pick up the needle she dropped. Sacrifice our life to get the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman. And lastly for this area, we get the Grace Relator. Get the Green Turtle Talisman for better stamina regen. And now we fight against the real Mohg, who for the first phase we easily bleed out. For the second phase, we continue to pressure up and stagger him occasionally to guarantee us the kill. And with the final hits dealt, Mohg goes down, with the fight taking about 6 minutes and 27 seconds. Now we go to the Oriza side tomb to get the cookbook that will allow us to make Iron Jar aromatics for infinite poise. Now off we go to get the rest of the perfume bottles in the game. While also collecting the ingredients for the aromatic. And after prepping ourselves and our equipment, we go and bleed out the God-devouring serpent. And despite getting flinched off of our attack, we make quick work of it. For the second phase against Rykard, we try to hug his body as much as we can to keep the constant blood buildup going. We also use the Iron Jar aromatic to ignore the lava stagger. But with how slow our character gets, it's quite a risky trade. With the constant bloody flower power, we eventually take out Rykard, with the fight taking about 14 minutes and 22 seconds. Look at this true ladies man. With Rykard put down, we now go off and fight the fire giant. And with how slow he is and the amount of times we hit his weak spot, we take down his first phase pretty quickly. For the second phase, we heavily rely on the bleed to do most of the work. With how bloated his health is, the bleed is effective in taking him down. And that entire fight took only about 4 minutes and 46 seconds. Now we sacrifice ourselves to set a tree on fire. Haha, psych, you can never kill professional fedora tipper. And now that we're in Farum Azula, it is time to fight the Godskin duo, who we proceed to both put to sleep. And once they're in nap time, we ready ourselves and start spamming out the blood tax attacks. Feeling like the IRS here with how many times I've already used this skill. Eventually we take them down, with the fight taking about 6 minutes and 19 seconds. And I died only one time. Going forward, we give Alexander a warrior's death. Laid down on the cold hard ground next to a tornado. And now we fight against the Dragonlord, who was very easy to abuse and bleed out because of how slow he is. Honestly, the only thing you have to look out for when fighting Dragonlord is his Hyper Beam. Know how to dodge that and you're home free. This fight took about 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Now we level up our damage by a minuscule amount and start our fight against Malenia, who for the first 2 attempts just sliced us up like a paper shredder. But for the first phase, we let her engage us so we can abuse the opening she gives to attack with our Bouquet of Roses. But the real fight starts at the second phase where we start to use blood grease against her. When she uses Scarlet Aeonia for the second time is when we prepare ourselves to the max, finally bringing our Physic to the mix. With blood tax dealing a good amount of bleed buildup, we eventually take her down, with the fight taking about 25 minutes and 13 seconds. Yeah, even though we have the power of bleed with us, it took a pretty long time to take her down. Now we upgrade our needle to the Mikola needle, then we say our last goodbyes to the snaky milady, receive our farewell letter. Damn, every girl we meet just leaves us. Am I truly maidenless? And after a bit of contemplating, I decide to remove the Frenzy Flame from our person. I'm gonna miss our crazy looking Frenzy Flame eyes. Anyway, it is now time to fight Maliketh, where we pretty much jump attack our way to victory for the first phase. And for the second phase, as always, we dodge his slower attacks to blood tax him to death. With one last blood tax to the ribs, Maliketh goes down. The fight time was about 5 minutes and 39 seconds. Now it's time for the final phase of the game. Now we make quick work of Gideon with her roses. Yeah, Gideon is usually an easy one to deal with. Yeah, that fight took about 1 minute and 17 seconds. Then we go to the Tower of Return to get teleported to the capital to use another teleporter so we can activate Malenia's rune. We be playing Bloodborne now, boys. Now we level up for the last time, and face off against Godfrey. I tried to use the Iron Jaw Aromatic against him, and that is highly not recommended. That first attempt ended up a wash. In the first phase of the second attempt, we stay as close as we can to him, just like we did against his Phantom version, but this time we can actually bleed him out. For the second phase, we use much more risky strategies to get that blood buildup going. And also we take advantage that blood attacks can heal us. With one final bonk to the legs, Godfrey bleeds out, with the fight taking about 10 minutes and 5 seconds. Now let's get this Great Rune deactivated as fast as possible, because I don't like that it reduces our flask heal. And because the last bosses do not bleed, we change our talisman setup, so we can properly fight Radagon. Against Radagon we don't do a lot of damage, but knowing his attack patterns and timings because of a previous run I did, we beat him down with our continuous attacks. It took a while, but he eventually falls. Now it's time to get ready for the last boss. For Elden Beast, most of the fight is pretty much just trying to get near it, while dodging most of its attacks. But with blood tax and our talisman as a source of healing, we have both longevity and survivability on our side. All we have to worry about now is just getting bursted down. Also, it didn't really like me getting close to it at all. but with enough staggering and tenacity, we take the beast down, with the fight taking a total of about 20 minutes and 40 seconds. My red roses turned into yellow roses at the end as well. Now we summon Milady Ronnie, and there you have it folks, we beat the game with Varre's Bouquet. This run was not as bad as I initially thought it was gonna be. With our damage low and our blood buildup being okay, I thought we were gonna struggle a lot more. The bleed is what carried this weapon to the end. And I know that if I used Blood Flame on it, I would have had a bit more easier time finishing this run. But instead I decided on the Blood Grease way of buffing the weapon. And everything went pretty okay all the way through. Didn't really struggle with any of the bosses. Well, except for Malenia, but hey, who doesn't? Also, I wanted to do a bit more NPC side quests, but it would have made for a longer video, so I opted out of doing Nepheli and Latenas. Anyway, as always, recommend me some challenge runs to do, as I do keep an eye out for the comments, and feedback is always appreciated. Also, I might start doing shorter videos, or start streaming, or maybe even both. But I don't know when I'll do that, but please tell me what you guys think about this idea. But anyway, thank you for watching. This has been Worn Out Gamer 4, and make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell notification for alerts when I post a new video. And thanks for watching this video and my previous videos if you have as well. Later.